AITA for refusing to do my boyfriend's laundry after he told his mom, I don't do anything. 26F, have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, 28M, for about 3 years now, and we've been living together for a little over a year. For the most part, things were great. We got along, we had fun together, and we were building a life. Like any relationship, there were little bumps in the road here and there, but nothing huge. However, there was one issue that started to eat at me, and it seems like I might have let it fester longer than I should have. Now, we both work full-time, which means our days are pretty packed. He works in a field that's physically demanding, and I have a job that's mentally draining. But despite that, we both agreed when we moved in together that we would split household chores. And at first, things seemed fair until they weren't. For the most part, I've ended up doing the majority of the work around the house. I cook, I clean, I do the laundry, I grocery shop, I handle bills, and I take care of our cat, who is a bit of a handful. He helps out sometimes. He'll take out the trash or wash a dish every now and then, but I would say 85 to 90% of the housework falls on me. I brought this up a couple of times, and each time he promises to try harder, but nothing really changes. I've never been one to keep score in relationships, but it started to feel like I was doing everything. It became an unspoken understanding that I was the one handling the household. I mean, sure, he would do the bare minimum every so often, but it felt like he was coasting on that, and I was left to pick up the slack. After months of this, I was starting to get a little resentful. He would say, "Oh, I'll help more," but it never actually happened. And then, things escalated. Last weekend, we went to visit his parents for dinner. They live a bit out of town, so it was a little bit of a drive. It had been a while since we last visited them, and I was looking forward to catching up with his family. The evening started off great, good food, nice conversation, and a pretty relaxed atmosphere. That was until his mom casually dropped a comment that completely blindsided me. During the dinner, she turned to me and asked, "So, what do you actually do around the house?" Boyfriend's name says you're not really the domestic type. I froze. I didn't know what to say. I felt my stomach drop, and I could see the look on my boyfriend's face. He was clearly embarrassed, but instead of defending me, he just sat there silently. I mean, I was speechless. What kind of thing is that to say? And more importantly, why was my boyfriend letting his mom talk about me like that? After a moment of awkward silence, I managed to say, "Well, if by not domestic you mean I do everything, then sure." I was trying to lighten the mood, but his mom didn't even laugh. She just nodded like it wasn't a big deal. Meanwhile, my boyfriend just stared at his plate, clearly uncomfortable, but still not saying a word to defend me. As we drove home later that evening, I was simmering with anger. I tried to keep my cool, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. I turned to him and asked, "What the hell was that about? Why didn't you defend me?" He just shrugged and said, "I didn't mean anything by it. I just meant you don't really enjoy housework." I'm sorry, but what? Who enjoys housework? If that's what he meant, then fine, but that didn't take away from the fact that I was doing everything. I was the one cooking, cleaning, and keeping the house running smoothly. I was the one managing everything while he just sat back and occasionally helped when it was convenient for him. I told him I didn't like the way he made it sound, and that I felt unappreciated. His response was that he didn't mean anything by it, and that it was just a joke. But it wasn't funny to me. I felt completely invalidated, and to be honest, I was hurt. How could he say something like that to his mom about me and not stick up for me in front of her? It made me feel like all my efforts didn't matter. After the dinner incident, I was livid. I couldn't shake the feeling that he was taking me for granted. And you know what? I decided I wasn't going to let it go easily. I wanted him to feel what it's like when I stopped doing everything. So I did something petty. I stopped doing his laundry. I didn't say anything. I didn't make a big deal of it. I just stopped. I continued doing my own laundry, but his pile of dirty clothes just sat there in the basket. I didn't say a word to him about it. I just folded my own clothes and left his there, getting bigger and bigger as the days went by. At first, I didn't think it would take long for him to notice. But the days passed, and his laundry pile was still growing. I could tell he was starting to get annoyed, but he didn't say anything to me. I kept waiting for him to ask about it, but he didn't bring it up. I'm not going to lie, I felt a little smug. Finally, after a week went by, he said, "Hey, are you mad again or something? You haven't done my laundry." I couldn't help but smirk. I turned to him and said, "I thought you said I don't do anything around the house, so I figured I'd live up to the label." His face dropped. He was taken aback, and I could tell he didn't know how to respond. He tried to backpedal, but at that point I was done. I had been carrying the load of the household chores for so long, and it took me refusing to do his laundry for him to realize what he was saying and how it affected me. But of course, after this, he started to accuse me of being petty and immature. He said I was making a big deal out of nothing. And guess what? His mom texted me too, saying that I should let go already. I responded to her, I'd be happy to let it go, right into the washing machine with the rest of his responsibilities. Now here I am, wondering if I really did go too far. I know it was petty, but I felt like it was the only way to get through to him. I'm so tired of being the one who does everything while he gets to sit back and act like he's doing his part. I wanted him to see firsthand what it's like when I stop doing everything for him. So, AITA for refusing to do his laundry after he told his mom, I don't do anything around the house.